Welcome to another edition of In the Weeds with Ikard and Lehman, presented by Riverwind Casino. Riverwind is Oklahoma City's premier casino experience, and there are so many reasons why Riverwind is consistently voted OKC's number one casino, but it all starts with their amazing variety of gaming thrills and excitement. Riverwind's beautiful award-winning environment plays host to more than 2,800 of the latest electronic games with a huge selection of table games, including blackjack match roulette, and Teddy's favorite, craps. No matter what your game, Riverwind has it in spades and hearts. And to learn more about their gaming promotions and entertainment options, all you got to do is visit riverwind.com. Riverwind Casino, always a good time. Okay, for this In the Weeds, we're going to take a look at some of the things that Michael Hawkins did well a year ago and how we think the offense could look a little different with him as QB1 instead of John Mateer for however long it takes Mateer to get back, Ted. And I think it's important to acknowledge it's a different system, but you can still see a lot of similarities between some of the plays we're about to show and some of the things that Ben Arbuckle does offensively.
I like it.
So this first play, we have seen a lot this year. We've seen John Mateer in the read run game as like the gap scheme option and the other option threatening the perimeter of the defense. We've seen it a lot with the speed sweep action, coming back this way, and then these pullers getting back and running the gap scheme this way with Mateer reading it. And if he likes the read, if he gets a keep read, then he's running a counter concept.
Yeah.
Now, Ted, I think it could make a lot of sense to just flip that with Michael Hawkins.
Sure.
And that's what you see with this play against Texas a season ago is he's threatening the perimeter. The running backs are running the gap scheme concept there to the field, and Hawkins with the simple read, he's threatening the perimeter of the defense. So instead of being the gap scheme option, he's the threaten the edge of the defense option in the read run concept. I think that makes a lot more sense with his skill set and build than using him a bunch running counter in between the tackles,
Yeah. I think there's a lot of ways that you can build off of that, like some play action stuff that really helps out. So like right here, we're just blocking on the front side. Those guys can also be releasing down the field as options. You could block a guy by going up and battling him physically, or you can block him oftentimes by releasing down the field and having him chase you.
Yeah. So I just think getting him out on the edge of the defense in these read run concepts fits him better than saying, all right, hey, go stick your nose in there on the GT counter or the GY counter. And he's added good weight. Like he looks much better physically than he did a year ago.
Agreed.
But the guy's got speed, man. Get him out on the edge of the defense.
Yep. Yeah. I think that's where not to say that he can't crease you up the middle. We've seen that before, but I agree. Putting him on the perimeter in some space, where a lot of those look the same. If you're running like a sprint pass, play action sprint, or a boot, those look a lot like the actual run game if you're blocking it up. So just gives the defense a little more to think about.
Let's go on to the second play. And you almost read my mind. The third play goes along with what you just said about sprint pass, boot, getting him out on the edges of the defense. But let's look at this snap against Auburn last year. And one of the things that Oklahoma's offense this season has done very, very well is spread teams out and throw the football. Whether that's going four wide like you see on this play here or getting an empty with the running back out of the backfield as well. And this is another threat that Hawkins brings as a runner. If you spread the defense out, they have to make it a decision when it comes to how many guys they want to commit to the box. And one thing that's very simple to do is run QB draw.
Yep.
It's it's one of the simplest concepts imaginable. Like, how many guys do you have in the box? You should have them all accounted for. If you've got the running back in the backfield like you do here, you've got 6 blockers for a QB draw. And we all know, because of another play in this game from a year ago, what type of speed he has, what type of weapon he is if he gets in some space, Ted. So this is another thing. We haven't seen a ton of it with Mateer, but if this if the strength of this offense is spread them out, this is something you want to show. Like, this is something you want to do with Michael Hawkins if I'm Ben Arbuckle, because it's an extremely simple play and it gets him in a position to go make a play. Now, it's not blocked very well here. Maybe this isn't the best example, but if you can get a hat on a hat in these simple QB draw these draw plays where you've spread the defense out, I think Hawkins is a weapon in those situations.
Yeah, I agree. And if you look at it from right there, the kind of the finished formation, look at this defense. It's a little bit different this year. Press, press. Safety is at, like, what is he at? 8 or 9 yards right here. Tight right here. This is a support safety that's dropping out, but he's only dropping to this level. You get backers, like, there's no depth at all in this defense. So it's just so claustrophobic in there. With what our passing game has looked like so far this season, we're not seeing as much of this stuff. People are having to open up to try and defend the middle of the field a little bit, worried about the deep stuff. So I think you'll have a little more opportunity in some looks like you're talking about here, where the defense is respecting the spread passing game a little bit more than they were a year ago.
Right. Can't commit as much as they want to. You got to pick your poison with
Yep.
this offense. Right now, the wide receivers in the passing game, and I include Canick in that group, like the pass catchers, are the strength of the offense
Yep.
with what we've seen through 4 games. So defenses may say, hey, if they want to run QB draw with Hawkins, like, okay, be my guest. Be careful what you wish for. That's all I'm saying.
Right.
Because that guy, he could run, man. He could really run. All right, let's look at this next play. One of the things that I believe Hawkins does really well is get out to the edges of the defense. And this is something you mentioned earlier, Ted. You can build a lot of play action concepts off simple run action and get him out on the edge of the defense. And defenses will be threatened by his speed and his ability to run. Now, here, this is just a simple, you see, it's an outside zone track, and we're running boot, right? And there he is. He's on the edge of the defense. And right here, he's got options, right? You see multiple pass catchers there. If he likes what he sees, he can just throw the football. If he doesn't like what he sees, he can tuck it down and run. I like the thought of getting him out of the pocket with some of these play action boot plays, Ted, and just giving him some options out in space.
No doubt. And I like this because this is who you stress. They're just in a cover 3, bare front, bringing a safety into the box, total disrespect for the passing game. And this is the flat player. And as he gets to the edge of the defense, he sees the flat player almost always, but 95% of the time, the flat player has to run with the wheel route. He doesn't run. He settles because of the quarterback threatening the edge. Just an easy completion right there. Smart football.
Easy completion. Nice catch and run from former Sooner Bauer Sharp.
Mm-hmm.
But I like this because it gets him here. It gets him out on the edge of the defense. You can run all kinds of different level concepts where you can read it long to short, right? You can look for that big play, that big chunk play down the field. If it's not there, then you can look at the short option. And if it comes to just tucking it down and running it and getting a nice positive game, like, we know he's got the athleticism to do that. So
yeah,
I
you just got to look right here. If this flat player who's supposed to if he turns and runs with that wheel route, and Hawkins pulls the ball down, well, you convert right here and you block and you're off to the races, probably a first down run.
Yeah. Simple, easy, nice, solid run on 1st and 10 here. And I will say one of the keys to running boot successfully, to running this concept successfully and getting him here on the edge of the defense is you have to run the run play
That's
that
right.
goes with it. You have to run whether it's outside zone to the open side here, right? To an open side tackle or running stretch to a tight end, whether that's in 11 personnel or 12 personnel with 2 tight ends and running stretch. You have to run those outside plays to make these play action concepts as effective as you want them to be.
Yeah. Am I crazy? What am I missing? Do we have 10 guys out there on the field?
We've got 5 offensive linemen and a tight end. That's 6. I'm guessing you just can't see a wide receiver in the picture.
Oh, they got all 11 in that picture for them, but maybe he's splitting the difference right here.
Hold on. No, I don't. I 1, 6 is 7, 8, 9, 10. I only see 10.
Hey, it's hard to convert a long play with only 10 guys on the field if that's the case, but I don't know.
I don't see an 11th guy, and that corner is bailing and getting depth as if there's no one outside of him. So yeah, I think just really nice play with 10 on. No, we got 2 tight ends. He's hiding.
Is he?
Oh, there he is.
Oh, yeah.
There's
He's
Jake Roberts.
behind the tackle.
I'll edit that part out. That was stupid.
Oh, that's funny.
I was wondering why you were pausing for so
Yeah,
long.
it's like, what am I missing here? It's funny.
You know what? Let's leave it in because we're idiots and
Yeah, we
people will
leave it
enjoy
in for
that.
sure.
I'm leaving it in. I'm leaving it in. But get Hawkins to here with those play action boot concepts. I know that Arbuckle has all that stuff in the system, but you gotta get to that corresponding run play that shows that outside action and makes the defense feel threatened by the run concept to set up that play action. Good throw. He is so open.
Let's get on this guy right here, please. Let's get on
block
this
him?
guy. That's what we always talk about. This is what turns big chunks into touchdowns.
Barely got the ankle. Nice play though. Nice play. All right, let's look at a couple more concepts. Those 3 were kind of some thoughts in the run game and the play action game. Let's get to some thoughts in the passing game with Michael Hawkins as QB1. But first,
It's football time in Oklahoma, and you need beef built like our guys on the field. Premium, powerful, and ready to perform. That's Didier Ranch. They're a family ranch right here in Oklahoma, raising and shipping their own beef nationwide. Steak burgers, premium ground beef, and they hand deliver next day to the Oklahoma City metro and surrounding areas. Norman, Moore, Edmond, Yukon, right from the ranch to your doorstep, faster than the Sooner schooner after a touchdown drive. Premium beef delivered. Visit DidierRanch.com and taste the luxury of tradition.
getting thirsty breaking down this film? Are you tired of boring water? Are your electrolyte packets too salty or full of sugar? We've all been there. That's why we'd like to introduce y'all to Trevi. Trevi is Oklahoma's hydration company that's full of flavor and electrolytes to keep you hydrated throughout the day. Whether you're tackling a wide receiver, that lingering house project, or your daily workout, you need to be hydrated. With Trevi's flavor-filled formula, you don't have to sacrifice taste for functional performance, and Trevi is giving In the Weeds viewers a 20% discount on y'all's first order when you use the code GameDayHydration at drinktrevi.com. Trevi Hydration, a fountain of flavor. Shaner and Franklin's attorneys know a thing or two about drilling, whether it's drilling running backs on the field or drilling wells in the patch. As former collegiate athletes, Shaner and Franklin bring the same discipline and grit to oil and gas law. The Franklin in Shaner and Franklin is Daniel Franklin, my teammate for 4 years at OU. D. Frank's an awesome dude, super smart. From title work to transactions, they hit hard, play smart, and don't quit until the job's done. So when the deal gets tangled in the weeds, trust Shaner and Franklin to do whatever it takes to get you in the end zone. Contact Shaner and Franklin for all of your oil and gas legal needs. All right, looking at some past concepts that Michael Hawkins executed at a high level last season when he was playing. Ted, I think he throws the ball really well on the move, especially on the move to his right side. And here's a play from the Navy game, and you just see a simple sprint concept, right? You're getting him out of the pocket, you're getting the slide from the offensive line, see that tight end kind of taking the edge off. Now, we've seen this year with Arbuckle, the running back will secure the edge. He'll come out and secure the edge before getting out on a route. And you just get Hawkins out here and you get him a read and just he throws it well on the move, man. I mean, just look
Yep.
at nice, accurate throw, protects the receiver from the defender. First down. I mean, it's just it looked that's maybe one of the things he did best as a passer a year ago is throw on the move. And I guess you get used to it if you're playing behind, you know, some of the
Yep.
lines he had to play behind. That is what it is. But I think that's a strength of his game. I there's no doubt in my mind, Arbuckle, they're gonna run their normal stuff in the passing concept. They trust him to read it out and do all that stuff. But I do think one of his strengths is getting him out of the pocket, getting him on the move with some simple sprint pass concepts and just letting him do what he does well.
Yeah. And, down a distance and game plan, you never know what they see here. But what I like with a guy like Hawkins is I want to create way more space. So on a sprint pass, you're going to have three guys. I like three level because we end up having one, two, and three guys all on the same level. I want this middle guy running out or, you know, either him or the outside guy, a sail route, and then a flat route. So you have three levels to stress the defense. Create some separation and space in there to where if he doesn't like it, he pulls it down. You don't have a bunch of guys standing right there at the chains, but this is I mean, you're going to have a bunch of different concepts out of it, but I know that they'll have some sail routes and some stuff like that in there as well.
And that's one thing we've seen from Arbuckle so far is like the spacing and the route concepts has been very good.
Yep.
Rarely do you see guys in the same area like stacked on top of each other.
Yep.
Yeah, he does a nice job with the route designs and the concepts of creating space. But yeah, this is just another simple one. Get him on the move. Let him throw on the move because he's good at it, man.
And for a backup quarterback, I like this stuff early. We've talked about it before. He's naturally just going to be more comfortable out in space on the run instead of in the pocket where there's a bunch of chaos around him. Early in the game, let him get out, make some throws, maybe pull it down and run, take a hit or two, and get into the flow of the game.
No doubt about it. All right, this next one, this is something we talked about on the podcast on Sunday. Empty has been really good for this team. Maybe the best thing we've seen from this offense when it comes to John Mateer operating in the passing game out of empty. Now, I expect Michael Hawkins to operate at a very high level out of empty in the passing game. So here's a nice clip of OU motioning to empty. You see one of the keys here is understanding how that motion is going to affect the defense, understanding where the offensive line is working in empty protection, and understanding where you're protected and where you're not protected. That's going to be very big for Michael Hawkins if they're going to play in a lot of empty. But this is a great example, Ted, is he looks comfortable, he steps up and just rips one. And this is a concept we see Arbuckle run. This is mesh with the little spot in the kind of in breaking route right in behind it. It opens up perfectly. He rips it. Like this is the type of execution I expect to see from him when he's playing in these empty situations and he's getting good protection.
Yeah, I totally agree. And I love the concept. I mean, we talk about this play from everyone. Pretty much everyone in college football runs this, but you're going to get to it a bunch of different ways, right? And I love a really condensed empty formation because if you line up spread out and empty, well, you always already spread the defense out and help them spread their net. But if you start condensed and on the snap, then we expand out, where you get those guys moving out to get to their zones, and that's where the holes in the middle can open up a little better.
And this offense has been very good at attacking the middle of the field.
Yep.
I expect that to continue with Michael Hawkins as QB1. I wouldn't expect it any other way. And I know that the staff trusts him to play the game similarly to mid-tier. Now, they're not the exact same players, but you're not going to make drastic changes to a passing game that's been operating pretty efficiently. You're expecting him to be able to execute these concepts like this one, mesh with the little route in behind against zone, like he shows right here. So I think he's capable of doing all of the stuff that we've seen so far in the passing game for this offense, but very important for him to understand empty protection, understand where the threats are, and when the pocket's there, like be comfortable and be confident in your offensive line, who up to this point has pass blocked at a very, very high level.
Yeah, I like it. And I think that there's a lot of things that you can build off of, some of those empty concepts, whether it's quarterback run game, quick passes, tunnel screens, like all kinds of stuff that you can go to. And people, the better we get at it, the more conservative defenses are going to get. And that's where more of your quarterback run game or underneath shovel passes where the tight end is in empty, set up in this little wing spot. I mean, you've got all kinds of different ways that you can take the offense.
Last play. The guy can launch the deep ball. Let him launch the deep ball.
I think this is what he is best at.
I'm with you. And there's nothing complicated here. This is max protection, right? You see him. We've got all 5 offensive linemen in, keeping the tight end in, keeping the back in. 7-man protection, max protection, 3 guys out on routes. And someone just let this man just launch it. I mean, look at how far he throws that in the air.
Perfect ball, right in stride.
Just rear back and launch that thing.
Yep.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Nope.
When it comes to a deep throw. So he's got a strong arm, and these plays are actually the simplest plays. Now, you have to run it efficiently and make teams feel threatened by the run and make them give you the coverages you want for these concepts. But there's not much to catching the snap, taking your drop, and launching it,
Yep.
It's not overly complicated. Hey, wide receivers, go run by somebody, just like J.J. Hester did right there. What a ball.
Put it right on him. Beautiful.
I mean, look at where this lands. Oh, just a perfect throw. Bam.
There's nothing. Isn't it awesome whenever there's a deep ball that's just goes up through the clouds with some height on it and drops over the shoulder?
This is how you know it's good. Ball's out of the frame.
Yeah.
Ball's out of the frame. Can't see it. Ball drops back in the frame. Perfectly.
Beautiful.
You have to do a lot well offensively to create more of these scenarios for your wide receivers. But the guy's got a really good arm. Couple max protection situations and just let him launch that thing and see if someone can go get it.
Yep. Go in on the outside. Let your guys, open it up, stretch the field a couple of times, and I think he'll hit one.
I'm with you. Okay. Those are some of the things that we're thinking make a lot of sense for this offense with Michael Hawkins as QB1. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Please make sure you are subscribed to our YouTube channel and like these videos. Also, if you really like it, you can show your appreciation by hitting those 3 dots down there and giving us a super thanks. Other than that, we'll see you next time here on In the Weeds.